Hello there, I'm HuskyUp1 here with a special Minecraft tutorial. I say special this time because today we have several vehicles instead of just one. As many of you know, I've done the Sherman Tank already, but today we have Hobart's Funnies, which are variants of them. Included with that is also the Churchill Tank, which we'll get to as well. So before we start building these, you'll probably need to see my Sherman Tank first. If you've already done the Sherman Tank tutorial, you can probably skip this, but I also do make modifications to it. So you're going to do 6 blocks on the bottom, 8 on top of that with the buttons in this layout. On top of that is 6 green wool blocks, then slabs in front of that, and then carpet in front of that. The vehicle is 5 blocks wide. On the bottom layer is all of these slabs. And you don't really need to worry about the inside. You can watch the tutorial if you want to do the inside. The turret is laid out like so. Just pause the video if you don't know how to build it yet. Otherwise, it's pretty self-explanatory. This is the specific version from the later half of the war. The earlier half of the war is a bit different. It's only got a 3-block long barrel, and this turret is not sticking out. Having stated that, let's get to the actual Hobart's Funny variants, designed specifically for the invasion of Normandy. So here we have first up the Sherman Dozer. Pretty self-explanatory, just a Sherman tank with a big plow in the front for mowing down the hedgerows found in northern Normandy. So to build this, you're just going to use 3 pieces of carpet right there. In front of that is 3 stone slabs. And then you got the formation of the plow attached to that. And I'll show you this in action in a second here. First we gotta do the rest in this line here. Actually, I'll go to the other Sherman tanks over on the other side of the island. Anyway, over here is the Sherman Tank Crab Minesweeper. What happens is this little bar here that sticks out on both sides is attached to a cylinder that spins at a very fast rate when it's powered up, and attached to that are these ball and chains, I guess one can call them, spikes, that would plow into the ground like so, over here, and set off any mines in the path. So to build this, you just have to pause if you don't see what's going on. Literally just placing slabs along here, and then 4 2x2 layouts of cobwebs in between. And to have it being in the deployed location, you just gotta angle this downwards, and use only 1 row of cobwebs instead of 4. This little effect back here is just my own little touch. You don't have to add it. It just makes it look like it's more active or more lively. You just gotta hide wider underneath. If you want to actually see the inside, I'll show you that as well. This is what it looks like. So you can pause if you want to build that inside all of these. We'll get to the Churchill tank later. Let's first see the rest of these Sherman tank variants. I know I'm going a little bit faster, but you can just pause the video whenever you need to build a specific layout. Over here we have the ones specifically used for the beach landings, except for that dozer right there. So over here we have the Sherman Tank Duplex Drive, which is basically just a skirt around the tank that would provide buoyancy as it was moving from the cargo ships to the beach landing itself. So what you're going to do is you're going to sink the Sherman tank 2 layers into the water. So let me get a potion of night vision here so you can see. So right off the bat you can see that the tracks themselves are in the water. Everything else in the tank is above the surface. So you're just going to build the Sherman tank except partially sunk in the water. Nothing really changes as far as these 2 layers are concerned except for a couple of propellers that go in the back. Just some quartz slabs attached to the second level. And then around the tank goes this white barrier. Well, it could be tan or white. I use white wool in this case. Arranged like so, 3 blocks tall. Just surrounding the tank, pretty simple. Notice that there is a white carpet on top of here. I forgot to show you that. This little dip here, that's worth noting. Over here is when it gets on the shore itself, the skirt collapses and then is eventually taken off. This is some of that process, frozen in time. Pretty self-explanatory. It's literally just the bottommost layer and removing the top 2 layers otherwise. So that's the Duplex Drive. Leave the propellers on there. Anyway, here's the Sherman Dozer again, this time plowing through some hedgerows, just to show it in action. Over here we have a different take. It's not exactly meant for the same purpose as that. This was meant to, on its own power, be able to navigate between ships and shore. This one is just for navigating rivers or large streams, etc., etc. Something where it can't be fully submerged in water, but it can be partially crossing a large waterway. What happens is there's these two shafts in the back, providing air for the crew and for the engine to keep circulation. So you have that available to you as one of the many Hobart Funnies variants. And now we can move on to the Churchill tank. For this one, for this demonstration, I have only the bridge builder, the bridge-layer version. So we get over here to the Churchill Tank Mark IV. I'm actually going to show you my tutorial really quick. I suggest watching it if you want to see the inside. It's basically identical to the Sherman tank. But anyway, you're going to lay down 9 blocks of black wool and buttons, and the rest of it is pretty self-explanatory. Just pause the video to build it. Note the black carpet on top if you're building this version, but it's not on the ends of the tracks. On top, actually from the front view, it's the same layout as the Sherman tank, except it goes back a block right here. A couple levers, the turn in the barrel. Note the carpet in the back, and otherwise it's pretty much the same on the other side. Actually, I'll show you the inside, might as well. So you can see it's identical to all the other tanks I've built. Otherwise, let's move on to the Hobart Funny variant. Here we get to the bridge layer. So what you're going to do is you're going to make it a stub barrel and add these iron bars like so. I'll show you little glimpses of every single portion of it. So after you've built that, you're going to build this little winch system on the back here, and then add in the cobweb on top of that. And then I would leave the rest of the cobweb undone until you build the bridge itself to make the bridge that it would drop down into a waterway or other obscurity is 5 blocks wide, and then it slowly rises up each 2 blocks or so. So you can just pause it when you need to build it. Don't worry about the center in a little bit. I'll show you what goes on the center in a second. So after you've done that, the end is also 5 blocks wide again, and the center is basically empty except for a slab every here and there. I'll show you where they go. So yeah, there's 5 points, or 6 points in total, where the 2 spans are connected. And at the edge here is cobweb that gets extended until here, where it drops down a layer and then meets the stabilizer, I guess, the bar that goes right there to keep it steady. Anyway, over here we have it being deployed. Note that all the machinery up here gets dropped with the bridge, and it's just laid down like so. Pretty self-explanatory. Don't forget the middle archways in the center to keep it together. But otherwise, that wraps up the tutorial. Thank you for watching all these Hobart Funny variants. No, I did not build them in live time like my usual tutorials, but it was pretty self-explanatory. All you had to do was pause the video, and it's raining again. Anyway, thank you for watching. Let's get up on out for this video.